Hi there, welcome back. 1 week ago today, last Friday, I published my Q2 Q&A on the topic of personal development, which was recommended or requested by you. Be sure to check out that video. It's really long, which I'm okay with. You can always knock out a cardio or two watching it, but it's a really great video. And one of the questions that came up in that video pertains to the differences in the growth that has taken place in my life since my 20s and 30s. What's so different today at 52 than in my 20s and 30s? So I cover a little bit of that, but to be honest, it's really hard for me to think back because my life was so different during that time. I was raising small children. We changed throughout the different seasons, okay? It's so important to understand that when you are a mother of young children, that looks different than when you are a mother of teen children. And when your children leave the home, you transition. We are always in transition. And I talk often about that. I actually coach in transitions, but we are always in transition from one season to the next. Sometimes I will hear, and I know that there's probably videos out there that content creators have done, probably on TikTok, probably Instagram Reels. I don't really watch this stuff to know what people are saying, but it is not uncommon to hear, what would you tell your 20 or 30-year-old self? And it's just such a hard, I would have to really sit there and think about it. And if you have to think about it so heavily to find your answer, how true is it, right? I really don't know. It's just, I was in a different season when I was in my 20s and 30s, and how I did things and showed up then made sense for that time of my life, that period of my life. And how I view and do things today, it makes sense for this period, right? But I will say, not for everyone, but for many women, their confidence gets stronger as they get older. Again, not everyone, but many. And yeah, you do get, I guess I should say, have gotten more comfortable in my skin the older I get. And you may have even heard women share that they just don't care anymore. They just don't really care what you think. Yeah, and that's really just confidence. That's realizing at some point you are you, and you better start liking yourself. And if you don't like yourself, what changes do you need to make so that you do like yourself, that you do love yourself, that you are accepting of who you are? Because you can never be anyone but you, right? I love that journey took place. I don't recall ever struggling with confidence as a person, who I am. I would say there may have been areas, and still to this day, there's always going to be areas you may not have confidence in what you're doing because you're not experienced. It's something new, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you are not a confident person. But I don't want to spend this video talking about becoming more confident. I have videos where I cover confidence, and if you just watch me, it's all going to puzzle piece together if you are trying to get to a better place with yourself. Something that showed up for me, and it made me think, wow, this is worth a message. And Paul and I actually just talked about this because something came up. I would say something I recognize as a difference between many, not all, so don't take offense. Don't take offense if this is not you. But many younger women struggle. It's not challenging. They see it as challenging. They struggle getting answers and speaking up when it's really called for, if that makes sense. It's the difference. So, I mean, honestly, speak up. let me just go back. Speak up. Just speak up. If something seems off, if you are checking out at the doctor's office or you are in the doctor's office and something that the doctor shares, maybe you are expecting, and something that your doctor shares, you're not quite understanding, but he seems rushed. He or she seems rushed. So you don't say anything. And then you leave and you contact your spouse, your husband, and you say, yeah, I wish I would have asked this, da 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 da. If you ever tell someone, I wish I would have asked this, or I wish I would have said this, just speak up. The problem that we have is many young adults see this as confrontational. It's not. It's not. I don't know how many times Paul and me have thought, well, why didn't you just ask, right? Why didn't you just speak up? Probably because we know that we would, because it's not confrontational. If the lawn care person is over and you see something and you have a question, you will ask them. It's not a big deal. It's just conversation. It's not confrontational. The problem that we have is many young adults see things as confrontational when it's just a conversation. You should never leave any place of business or any interaction with anyone in a professional setting wishing you would have asked, wishing you would have said. That should never happen. And I'm sure many of you are saying, yes, this has happened to me. That's fine. Exercise that muscle. What's the opportunity here in learning? If you don't understand how something was priced and you need more clarity, you simply ask. You just say, can you run through that? I'm a little confused on how the price breakdown is, right? That's all you do. It's a conversation. You are the customer, right? It's just a conversation. At the end of the day, speak up. And I would say that is a big difference between young adults and adults my age. I would never I would never walk away from a place of business when I am checking out, or if I had someone come to my home to do work, I would, no, gone are those days. Gone are those days. It's not confrontational. And I'm going to share a really quick story with you. Paul and I are in the process of updating our home office into a playroom. Now, do I expect the grandchildren to stay in the playroom? No, but it's a great place to house all the accumulation of toys and activities that we are stocking the home with. So we're in the process of doing that. It's coming along great. Well, I selected a paint color based off of my vision, and the person who is doing the work got started painting and called me into the room and asked me, what are your thoughts? So he had a little bit done, and I walked in and I said, wow, it's not really what I expected, but yeah, it's, that's where I was going. So yeah, just proceed. Okay. So he proceeded. And he got one wall done, and he came out and he said to me, Tracy, I really want you to look one more time at the wall, at this paint. And I went in there and I looked at it. And I always talk about the inner coach or inner parent. The inner voice inside of me said no. Just no. No. It's speak up, right? It's speak up now. A lot of people wouldn't speak up because they would think, wow, he's one wall in, or wow, I've already purchased this paint, I'm out the money. But at the end of the day, if you are going to regret something, regret not speaking up. If you want to get better in this area, here's the tool. Here's the tool. I'm going to hand you a tool right now, and you can put this tool in your toolbox. We all have a life toolbox. Take the tool. Take the tool, trust me. It's worth putting in your toolbox. If you are going to regret a decision later on, or regret the fact that you didn't get answers, okay? You didn't get answers. You didn't stop someone in the middle and say, wait a minute, this isn't going to work. Has that ever happened with your hair? Where you are seeing something and you're like, no, 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 this isn't where I'm going. But the problem is we don't speak up out of fear. It's always fear. Fear of what the other person will think, fear of being liked, fear of being loved, fear of being accepted, fear of being worthy, fear of being competent. Fear, 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 fear. It really is. Get past the fear. It's not confrontation. It's a conversation, and it will eliminate you from having errors in your life, faux pas, what you may call mistakes or regrets, because you simply speak up. That's all it is. That would be something that I would tell my younger self, is to speak up more. Just be polite, be kind, and speak up. Because if I look back when I didn't versus today when I always do, wow, there's very little errors. I don't want to say regrets because I believe everything is an opportunity to learn. But there's very few things that I feel, oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that, right? Speak up. All right. Thanks for listening. I sure hope this hit home for you. Weigh in if this is something that you find yourself struggling with. Before I leave you, just pulling up my calendar, don't forget that Quarter 3 3-week intense starts Tuesday, August 1st. The information meeting goes out next week on Wednesday the 19th. You want to get registered before then. Link is in the description box below to get more information. And then don't forget about the time blocking masterclass running the whole entire month of August. Information on that as well. Get registered. A lot going on to move the needle. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon. Take care.